Say hello, everybody. It's Vitali over at OG Gamers Live, OG Gamers World, and I'm back. And as many of y'all know, I've been having a lot of problems for the last several years and going to a fire and all that. We'll talk about that again here in a minute. Uh, but for many years, I used my Behringer X32 console as my audio interface here in the studio. And when that got stolen in 2022, I replaced that with a Apollo Twin Duo. And as good as that Apollo Twin Duo is, I was never happy with it because it would not work in every application I needed to work in, and we'll talk about that again here in a minute. So I thought, well, what better than to get back to a company that I started this channel with, and that was Behringer. If I remember correctly, way back 15 plus years ago, I reviewed the Behringer FX2000 rack mount FX processor, uh, which I had right up till I got robbed in 2022. So let's take a look at the Behringer Studio XL, and hopefully in the process we'll clear up some misconceptions about it as well. So let's get started. Today we're looking at the Behringer Studio XL. We might as well see what all in the box. I don't think it comes with much. I know it comes with a little pamphlet, power supply, and the unit itself. It comes with 3.5 millimeter stereo cable and a USB 3.0 cable. Yeah, so yeah, that's what comes in the box. We have it all hooked up, and it was real easy to set up. I didn't even have to look at the pamphlet that came with it or nothing. I just went over to Behringer and downloaded the software and got it up and going. It's working just like it's supposed to over in my Streamlabs now. So yeah. Okay, we're back, and we've been using this, and I want to address it because there really hasn't been any really good video up on this product. There's been some people that they try to do a product review on it or whatever, and one of the ones, I'm not going to call it by name. It was a really bad video. The audio was horrible, and he was using or claimed to be using the Studio XL, and was complaining that the mic pre's on it were too weak and this, that, and the other. And basically, what he demonstrated in that video is he did not know anything about gain structure or audio editing or video editing or anything else. I'm using the Studio XL right now with this microphone, and you can obviously hear the difference between this and the first part of the video where I was using the microphones on the camera. The camera microphone is not bad, but it's not great, and it doesn't sound anywhere near as good as this, in my opinion. And feel free to agree or disagree with me. If you, either way, let me know in the comments. But you can tell the obvious difference. Uh, the Studio XL is actually set up to where you can use it as is right out of the box. And if you understand gain staging and stuff, and how to edit and mix and all that, then it's 100% usable. In a live stream situation like this setup right here, then I can always add gain over in my software, which is what it's how it's designed to be used. It's a nice clean preamp, and it does exactly what it's supposed to do. If you're going to use it in a recording situation, you can always add gain in your DAW. Or if you're like me and you have analog gear, I've got some really nice analog equipment here that would work extremely well with this. Like I've got a Focusrite ISA1 that would be perfect for this situation. I've got a Tascam TA1 VP that would be perfect. I've got an art voice channel. I've got all kinds of analog gear that I could use in this situation with this Studio XL, and it would be perfect. Right now, I'm in Streamlabs recording this, and I've got a little bit of gain added over on the input side over in Streamlabs. Or I can turn that off, and when I edit in my DaVinci Resolve Studio, I can always bring the gain up there. It's fine, people. If you understand audio production, it's really, really good piece of gear, and I hope that covers that. For those that don't know, I'm currently going through a fire. You can see what's left of my wall right there covered in plastic. I now have a 7 foot by 12 foot hole in the wall where the front door and the wall used to be. Uh, at the same time, that was the fire was January 25th. My generator broke down January 26th. And at the same time, somewhere amidst all this disaster, all my pipes froze and busted. So I'm having a pretty hard time right now. But I really didn't want to have to be dealing with replacing an audio interface while I'm dealing with all this other stuff. But that was the one thing that I could afford today. And I went with something that didn't break the bank, which was this Behringer Studio XL. And I don't regret it. It's doing everything that I needed to do at a price that doesn't break the bank. It's got, what, 6 inputs, 8 outputs. Uh, it's a really good piece of gear. I can't stress that enough. And as I go along and I use it more, I may create some other content on it. I don't know. But I don't see it failing anytime soon. I don't see it having any problems. The Apollo Twin Duo that I was using was a really nice audio interface, but they really haven't updated the audio drivers for that since they released it, and Windows keeps changing things, and it just flat wouldn't work in every application that I needed it to work in. It worked fine in all my DAWs. It worked fine in Discord, but if I could get it to work at all, it worked about 50% of the time over in Streamlabs or XSplit or OBS or any number of other programs. It just didn't want to work. Even with Voice Meter Banana and all that, it was just a real pain in the butt. And I got to where I couldn't afford to keep fighting with it. And I hope it makes sense. So until next time, y'all stay safe wherever you are in the world today, and we're out of here.